Advisors, Susie Godican and Patrick Chronicle. Researchers, Emily, Michaela, Tomas, Elena, Caleb, Ryan, Caitlin, Makaria, Olivia, Annie, Isabel, Erin, Natalie, Braden, Megan, Caitlin, and Cole.
Our sites 1, 2, and 3 are on Taylor or Union. Our sites 4 and 5 are on Taylor, and sites 6 and 7 are on Taylor and Union Wolf. Site 1 is on Union, 5 miles west and 5 miles south of town. Site 2 is on Union, 1 mile west and 4 miles south of town. Site 3 is on Union, a half mile west and 2 miles south of town. Site 4 is on Taylor, 2 miles west and 1.5 miles north of town. Site 5 is on Taylor, it's on the golf course bridge. Site 6 is below Madison, 1.5 miles east of town. Site 7 is on Union, 3 miles east and half a mile south of town.
So WQI is what we use to test the quality of our water, and it's used all around the world as a standard to compare everything. And there are 9 tests, which are dissolved oxygen, fecal coliform, pH, BOD, temperature, total phosphate, nitrates, turbidity, and total solids. And we also do a water discharge test, which is our flow.
We use this form to get our Q values, which we put into a total to figure out our WQI.
In May, the average amount of rainfall was about 2.53 inches, and we collected the rain 5 days before we tested. In June, the average amount was 0.17 inches of rain. In July, it was 11 hundredths inches of rain, and then in August, it was 2.57 hundredths inches of rain.
DO is the amount of oxygen that we find in our creeks. It is the most important test of all because we need oxygen in order to survive. Throughout the month, the data we collected was from May through August. The highest we see is June, which is around 70%. But unlike June, we have some lower oxygen levels, and for that, it's because of temperature. Temperature can cause over storage of oxygen. So in this case, during those cold water days, cold water is able to store more oxygen. Unlike warmer water, it releases more of it. So which can explain the lower oxygen for May, August, and July.
Fecal coliform is a harmful bacteria that's in the water, and it comes from the intestines of warm-blooded animals. And this is what the test actually looks like. And we come in 48 hours later and we count all the purple dots. And that's our colonies per 100 mils. And so for this test, we want the colonies under 235 colonies per 100 milliliters of water. And this year we only had about 6 underneath that line, which is not what we want. And we had the most in August and May, we think, because there was more rainfall, so therefore there was more runoff into our creeks and most of our sites run through cattle pastures, so that's probably why our fecal coliform numbers are so high.
pH is the water acidity. Basically, for pH, is the cautionary index of 6.5 and 9. For our test, they did pretty well, except for the first site in June and the third site in August. For the first site in June, it was caused because we went in and turned up the water.
BOD tells us the amount of oxygen we see being used by our plants and macroinvertebrates. So what we do here is take a site sample, bring it back, and we place it in a dark area where sunlight is no contact. The reason for that is because we don't want photosynthesis to occur. Photosynthesis can produce more oxygen, and we don't want more oxygen than it already has. So where our results need to be is at 0, as you can see. But the highest we have is at around 6.5, which isn't bad compared to other watershed testing throughout Nebraska. So we did a pretty good job.
What we want for temperature is for the bars to go above the line, and when they went below the line, That would indicate an underground spring, which meant the water got colder as we went downstream, and we wanted the spring to get warmer.
Phosphate is a test that measures how much phosphorus there is in the water. Usually phosphorus comes from runoff from crop fields, and even though it can boost life growth, too much of it can cause overgrowth, which causes the organisms in the streams to suffocate. It's called eutrophication. The cautionary line is at 0.05 parts per million, and there was only twice during the summer that it was underneath that cautionary line.
Nitrates is the test of the nitrogen in the water. It's very similar to phosphates. It's also been found in fertilizers that are runoff from crop fields. This summer we only had 5 below the line, but these numbers are a lot lower than last year.
Turbidity is the measure of clarity in the water. We need the water to be clear so the plants in the water can do photosynthesis and get dissolved oxygen in there for the other organisms to live. Our first sight in May was so high because we got in there and stirred up the water before taking the test.
Total solids is the amount of leaves, dirt, and twigs in the water. As you can see in the first sight in May, it spiked, but that was because we ended up stirring the water. Other than that, it stayed pretty consistent. And there is no line for where it should be.
Flow is the measure of how much water is moving through the stream at a certain time. In May, we did not test in May. In June, it went up at site 2, down for site 3, and shot up for site 4 and 5, and went back down to site 6 and 7. In July, it stayed relatively low, only going up once or twice. And in August, at site 2, it spiked because there was a lot of rainfall and there was more water in the stream. It went back down for sites 4 and 5, and we did not test at sites 6 and 7 because there was too much water in the stream to get in.
Water quality overall. This year we had below the red line is bad and above is medium. This year we had more mediums than last year, but we still want to strive for the 50 to 70 medium range and even strive for higher for the good range.
Chemical test conclusions. We had more rain than last summer. DO was below cautionary line all summer. DO dropped over the summer. Nitrates were low all summer, but still above the cautionary line. Fecal coliforms were lower than last summer, and more sites had higher WQIs.
These are the insects we look for. We mostly look for sensitive insects. On this graph, 1 is the tolerant insects, 2 is the mixture of sensitive and tolerant insects, and 3 is the sensitive insects.
In these pictures, we're getting ready to go get into the water, and we're taking at site temperature.
In these pictures, we're getting in the water and we're testing for the width of the stream, and there we're testing for bugs, and on the one on the top we're doing flow.
In the top 3 pictures, we're getting into the water, and we're actually testing for macroinvertebrates. In the bottom left, we're doing chemical tests at the site. And then we have some pictures where in the classroom, getting our test conclusions, and then there's Isabel holding a clam that she found.
In these pictures, we're getting in or out of the creeks, and Annie got stuck in the mud right there. And in the bottom right corner, there was a cow we had to chase away, and we named it Bessie.
We like to have a lot of fun.
Thank you for listening to our presentation, and a special